Hi there guys, welcome back to a different kind of video today. Today we're going to be going through the England options for the Euros this summer. At the moment, Southgate is playing sort of a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 system instead of his 5-2-3 or 5-4-1 in previous years. So I just thought we'd have a quick look into how England are going to play and who is going to play for England at the moment. At the moment here, I've got the team without all the injured players in. So the injured players or the players that have been unlucky to miss out or just miss out by just like a tiny bit. Someone like Shaw or Walker or Cody, who've just been pipped on form by these players in this team. I think this is the team if the Euros were tomorrow. Judging by form and fitness, this is the team that would play. But I just thought we'd have a look, and then in the next few weeks, I'd go through the stats on head-to-head players. So, for example, today we've got Pope versus Pickford. Then next time maybe we'll do Shaw versus Chilwell. And then in the future, we'll do maybe Reece James, Kyle Walker, Trent, Stones and Cody, all those sort of key debates on who people think would start in their teams. But in this first episode, I just wanted to confirm that we're all along the same lines in what sort of system Southgate's going to play. Now, this is the team that I said we've been playing mostly over these last two games. Obviously, the other day we didn't play Ward-Prowse. He came off the bench. We actually played Phillips and Rice and Mount ahead of that. And I don't think that works as well in the first half. So I would be keen in just seeing one holding midfielder and then seeing two box-to-box midfielders. And unfortunately, that would mean Phillips misses out because I don't think he's on the same level as Rice, but we can have that debate later. Alternatively, in the past, we've played a two in midfield, and we've put in someone like Connor Cody in here and had a 5-2-3. Sorry, Ward-Prowse wouldn't be in the team. Again, I think we've got the players to play this formation. I think Cody's a very good leader at the back there, and that would be a solid team versus some of the better nations like Portugal, France, or Germany. But I just feel that it's just overkill. Like we do not need. I think we'd rather have Rice in here and another box-to-box midfielder in this new system just to fit another attacking player into the team, whoever it may be. So looking at the options at the moment, you could have Shaw in there. That's another one that will be highly debated. We'll have either Grealish in here or Rashford in here versus Sterling or versus Foden. That will be another key debate. A lot of Liverpool fans were disappointed that Trent was left out, so that will be another interesting topic. And then obviously, does Ward-Prowse play in here? Would Maddison come back in when he's fit? Or would potentially Jordan Henderson come in if he's fit for the Euros? So essentially, we'll just sort of show to you now why I think a 4-3-3 is better than a 5-2-3. And then I will show you that over the course of the next few weeks, I'll give you guys the opportunity to vote in polls, either on YouTube or Twitter, whatever's easiest for you guys. You can vote in polls, and then we will get a finalised England 11. So I just wanted to look at how other teams are going to line up. So I don't know why these are too far forward, but yeah, essentially this is how I imagine France will line up. It will be sort of not a 4-2-4, maybe a 4-2-3-1 with Giroud like massively in front of everyone else, with Mbappe wide left, Griezmann in the middle, and Dembele or Coman, or they've got Lamar, they've got a wealth of options. But yeah, they like Giroud. And Mbappe coming in off this left wing, that seems to be his favoured position. I think he said in a press conference recently that he's looking to play as a left winger, not as a central striker, because obviously with his pace, he's much better at running at players rather than playing with his back to goal and holding the ball up. So yeah, this would be their team, we'd imagine. And I just wanted to show to you that if we played a 5 at the back, it's actually unnecessary. So let's imagine that Ward-Prowse is Cody, and we've got a 5 at the back. So then, in possession, these guys would get really high, like this, and we'd have these 3 at the back. We then ask Chilwell and Mbappe. Chilwell and James would force Dembele and Mbappe back, and then what we'd have is we'd have 1, 2, 3 ball players here with very little pressure on top of them. However, what we'd prefer is to just have 2 in there, Rice in front of them, and then you give. Sorry, I don't know why it's locked on Stones. You'd give Ward-Prowse and Mount the freedom to get forward because you know that you've got Rice, Maguire, and Stones behind you. And it also gives Chilwell and James the freedom to get forward. So instead of having your extra man in defence, you've actually got your extra man out wide because of this overload. We're asking Dembele to track back Chilwell and Sterling versus Pavard. Is Dembele going to want to do that? No, he's going to want to sit here for the counter-attack. It's the same for Mbappe. These are quality attacking players. They want to save all of their energy for the counter-attack and attacking opportunities. So it's the same on this side. Is Mbappe really going to want to track Reece James? No, he's not. He's probably just going to let him go. So then it's just about making sure that the counter-attack, we don't get countered. So then the team would end up looking something like this when the ball is out on the left wing. So we'd have 5 men back. It would end up looking a bit like a back 4 because Ward-Prowse is defensively strong. So he would tuck in and Mount would play as the central midfielder. Rice would basically mark Griezmann, and then here we have a 2-on-1 versus Pavard. And it's the same thing on the opposite wing. Basically, if you have your opposite fullback tuck in, then when the ball's on the other side, it will give you an overlap. So you've got Foden and James 2-on-1 versus Hernandez, because if Mbappe's not going to track back, if Mbappe tracks back, then that's fine, because then Ward-Prowse can come in here and then it will look something like that. But if Mbappe isn't going to track back, then Ward-Prowse just monitors him for the counter-attack. Mount plays in the midfield. Sterling is then a free man. He can come inside. Kane occupies the 2 centre-backs in the box. And then we've got a 2-on-1 out here. Then, alternatively, if Kante goes out here, then Pogba's the only free man. And that means that if Mount and Sterling play inside, obviously Griezmann will get high. Griezmann will probably not want to track Rice back because these players are attacking players. They're not, expected to track back for their clubs, and I doubt they're going to want to do it for their national team either. So it just means that if teams don't respect England's attacking players, we can have real value in playing a 4-3-3 instead of playing a 5-3-2. It's the same with every single team. Germany 4-3-3, Havertz in the false 9 position, Sane or Werner out on the left cutting in, and then Gnabry, he's got a brilliant record, to be fair. I think he's got 15 goals in 17 games or something along those lines. Maybe it's the other way around for Germany. This midfield is probably one of the toughest midfields to play against in world football at the moment. They can all run, defend, attack. It's just a really, really combative midfield. And then this defence, it looks pretty solid. I'm not sure about Ginter. I can't say I've seen much of him. Rudy has obviously been pretty much a mainstay in this Chelsea revival under Tuchel. But yeah, if they're going to play the same way, then we're just going to get our fullbacks high. And then it's going to leave Gnabry and Sane with choices, with a choice to make. Are they going to track back our fullbacks? If they are, then fair enough. That means we're fine on the counter-attack because it's 3-on-1. And if they're not, then that's fine as well. will just tuck in with Ward-Prowse and James, make sure of their responsibilities, and then leave the attacking play to these players. If they do tuck in, like we said, then it just means that instead of having Connor Cody just here, which is absolutely useless for attack, like you don't need Connor Cody. If we had Connor Cody in here and you've got your free man here, it makes no sense. Instead, we've got Ward-Prowse who can go and get involved, and then we've still got a 3-on-1 against Havertz or whoever. It's the same in this team. We'd have a 3-on-1 versus Ronaldo if Jota takes on, falls back with James and Felix tracks back Chilwell. It's the same with Ronaldo and Rice. So, in my opinion, if Southgate reverts back to a 5-2-3, it'd be very disappointing, especially with all the attacking talent that we've got to display at the Euros this summer. But let me know your guys' opinion. Tweet me or reply to me in the comments section. I'll go through the comments. Here we are. We have our first head-to-head. Pope currently the man in the number 1 jersey due to an injury to Jordan Pickford, and I just got some stats. We've got a decent slideshow on saves, clean sheets, errors. Penalties is obviously a key thing for tournament football, so I've got them involved as well, and then pass completion experience. So I'll just start here. So save percentage and total saves. As you can see on the screen, Pope's save percentage about 5% higher than Pickford. He's made 32 more saves, but he has played 5 more games because Pickford obviously got dropped from Everton on a few occasions now. Ancelotti said that he's rested him on a couple of times and then rotated him on the other 2. Pickford's obviously injured at the moment, so we can't see who would be Southgate's number 1. But judging by saves and save percentages, Pope's definitely the winner there. Moving on, goals conceded compared to expected goals conceded. Pickford's conceded 29 goals in 23 games, which it's not a terrible record. The thing is that goals expected only 27.3. So he's conceded two. Sorry, I think that maths is wrong, isn't it? It is. He's conceded 1.7 goals more than he's expected to. I don't know why I put 2.3. Apologies for that. And then Pope is expected to concede 37.1 goals so far in this Premier League season, and he's only conceded 32. So that's a net gain of 5.1 goals, which is massive over the course of the season. That could save, considering that we're only 28 games in for Burnley, unless he's missed one, I'm not too sure. To save 5.1 goals, that's points saved, definitely, and we could do with that in the World Cup, because just one more goal that Pope could have saved could be the difference between getting knocked out and staying in the tournament. Errors leading to goals. I did have 2 videos to show you, but I think they're actually copyrighted by Sky and BT. But if you go and watch them, they've both had 2 errors leading to goals this season in the Premier League, which isn't ideal. But here they come now. But unfortunately, I can't play them for you. But if you go and watch this one, basically Pickford just flaps it across, and then Tielemans hits it from the edge of the box, and it's a really weak hand, and it goes straight in. And this one, Pope, we're going to come on to his potential lack of passing ability and lack of footwork. He gets the ball from his left back. I think it's passed across him. He takes a heavy touch, and then I think it's Almiron nips in, and he hits the post, but Pickford takes him out, so he wins a penalty. So but showing the flaws of both players. Pickford not good at claiming crosses, and Pope not so good with his feet. So let's move on. Sorry, didn't need to show that. Got to skip these. Here we are. Massive thing for tournament football is the penalty shootout. Pickford has been the hero for 2 England shootouts. We've won against Colombia in the World Cup, and we won against Switzerland in the Nations League. And Pickford saved 2 penalties, 1 in each, to win us the tournament, to win us the match in both of those games. He has a slightly better record on penalties, which is surprising considering that Pope's the taller man. But obviously Pope is struggling to get down as much as Pickford. So yeah, 5%. It doesn't seem like that much, but over the course of both their careers, that's a decent amount. Yeah, Pickford just has that experience. He's been in 4 penalty shootouts, 2 with England, and he's won both with England. So for me, Pickford's the clear winner on this one. We've got him saving that decisive penalty against Colombia there. Coming off their line, so going back to one of Pickford's perceived weaknesses, we'd see, is it actually a weakness? As we can see from the stats, it is a weakness. Pope, 1 in 10 crosses he comes to collect. I mean, more than 1 in 10, but that's a brilliant record for Pope. I think I may have said Pickford there. Apologies if I did. Pickford, obviously a smaller frame and a smaller build than Pope. You're not going to expect him to come off his line as much. Pope likes to come out and dominate his box and really help out his defenders. Pickford, on the other hand, he prefers to stay on his line, and you can see that with percentage of action outside of the box. Now, if we're going to be playing a 4 at the back, and you've got Maguire and Stones as our 2 centre backs, you're going to any sort of ball over the top with other teams running onto, you're going to want to have a sweeper keeper for this World Cup, for these Euros. Sorry, and if you just look at percentage of action outside of the box, Pope spends 1% of his time, so every 90 minutes, he spends over a minute on average outside of the box, and that's collecting the ball, dealing with passes that are over the top. Pickford, on the other hand, he prefers to stay in his box and stay on his line, so he won't come out as much. So in terms of the sweeper keeper, Pope's definitely the better option. However, in terms of distribution, Pickford is a clear winner. His pass accuracy of 98, 99, and 47 is much better than Pickford's. These are all from short, medium, and long passes. And then, as you can see, if we're going to be wanting to play out from the back, Pickford's 55% of aerial passes, so that's 45% on the ground. Whereas with Pope, who plays obviously at Burnley, they're probably wanting to kick longer and in the air for their strikers to get onto, just to get themselves up the pitch. They're not going to play out the back as much to Tarkowski and to Ben Mee. They want to go long to Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. Whereas Pickford at Everton, they're more comfortable playing out from the back. So you can see that he's been playing more of his passes along the ground. Interestingly, they have a similar amount of passes made, or attempted, and as I showed you in that previous slide, that Pickford's played 5 games less than Pope, which shows that Pickford's obviously averaging a lot more of the ball. He's a lot more involved with passing moves built from the back. Moving on to experience, this is another one where Pickford is ahead of Pope. He has 67 more Premier League appearances and 24 more caps for England. The key thing, I think, here is the major tournaments. Pickford played every single game in the World Cup run, and Pope hasn't represented England in a major tournament yet. For reference, Pope hasn't actually made a Nations League appearance. Pickford has played every single game in the 2019 and 2020 Nation League. So for me, Pickford is the winner again there. But overall, I'll put a poll out. You guys decide your goalkeeper for this summer's Euros. Have I missed someone out? Is Henderson? Do you think Dean Henderson should be in the poll? Do you think someone else? Maybe, I don't know. Johnston from West Brom. He's made a lot of saves He saved them on a lot of occasions. But I think that for me, it's between Pope and Pickford, and I think that's the same for Gareth Southgate too. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching the video, and let me know next time what you want to see on Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell. And thank you for watching.